Everyone laughed when the woman fell. It happened during the lunch rush at Harbor Point Grill, the kind of place where tourists came for seafood and locals came because it was cheap and close to the docks. Plates clattered, forks paused mid-air, and for a brief cruel second, the entire room focused on the heavy woman sprawled on the tiled floor near the entrance. Someone snorted. Someone else muttered, "Careful, the floor's gonna crack." Ethan Cole froze behind the counter, his hands still wet from wiping tables. He had been a waiter here for 3 years, ever since his wife died and left him with a 6-year-old daughter and a stack of bills that never seemed to shrink. He was used to keeping his head down, moving fast, and pretending he did not hear things that hurt. But the laughter hit him wrong. The woman struggled to push herself up. Her face burned red, not just from effort but from humiliation. Her purse had spilled open and papers scattered across the floor like fallen leaves. No one moved to help her. A few phones even lifted, hungry for a moment to record. Ethan stepped out from behind the counter before he could talk himself out of it. "Hey," he said, his voice firm but calm. "Give her some space." A man at a nearby table scoffed. "Why? She should watch where she's going." Ethan ignored him. He knelt beside the woman, careful not to rush her. "Take your time," he said softly. "I've got you." She looked at him with wide startled eyes. They were sharp eyes, intelligent, and filled with something like disbelief. "I'm fine," she said, though her voice trembled. "I know," Ethan replied. "Still helps to have a hand." He offered his arm, solid and steady. After a moment's hesitation, she took it. He braced his feet and helped her rise slowly, the way he once helped his daughter when she was learning to ride a bike. The room fell quieter, though a few people still chuckled under their breath. When she was standing again, Ethan gathered her papers and tucked them neatly back into her bag. "You want some water?" he asked. She nodded. "Yes. Thank you." He led her to a corner table away from the stairs. As he poured water, he felt eyes on his back, judgmental and amused. He knew what they were thinking. Why bother? Why embarrass yourself? She's not worth it. He returned to her table. She took a sip, her hands still shaking. "I'm sorry about that," she said. "I'm not usually so clumsy." "No need to apologize," Ethan said. "Floors like that get slippery." She studied him then, really looked at him. His worn shoes, the faded uniform, the tired lines around his eyes. "You didn't laugh," she said. He shrugged. "Didn't see what was funny." She smiled, just slightly. "Most people do." Before he could respond, his manager waved him over sharply. Ethan excused himself and went back to work, expecting a lecture. Instead, the manager hissed, "Don't get involved in customers' nonsense next time." Ethan nodded, used to swallowing pride. Still, something about the woman lingered in his thoughts. There was a quiet strength about her, beneath the embarrassment. When his shift ended, he was surprised to find her waiting near the door. "I didn't get your name," she said. "Ethan. I'm Mara." They shook hands. Her grip was confident now. "I wanted to thank you properly. For your kindness." He smiled awkwardly. "It was nothing." She laughed softly. "It wasn't nothing. People forget that." They talked for a few minutes. She asked about his life, and he told her, briefly, about his daughter Lily and how he worked doubles to make ends meet. He did not mention the eviction notice folded in his jacket pocket. Before she left, Mara said, "Ethan, would you consider meeting me for coffee sometime?" He hesitated, surprised. "I don't have much free time." She nodded. "Neither do I. Still, I'd like to try." He agreed, unsure why. 2 days later, they met at a quiet cafe downtown. Mara arrived in a tailored suit, her hair pulled back, her presence commanding without being loud. Ethan almost did not recognize her. She noticed his confusion and smiled. I clean up well. Over coffee, she told him the truth. She was the CEO of a multinational logistics company, one of the fastest growing in the region. The papers he had picked up were contracts, not menus or receipts. She had stopped by the grill that day after a brutal board meeting, craving something simple and familiar. I've built companies, she said. I negotiate deals worth millions. But the moment I fell, none of that mattered. All they saw was my body. Ethan listened quietly. You helped me anyway, she continued. Not because you wanted anything. Not because you knew who I was. That matters to me. Weeks passed. They kept meeting. Slowly, a friendship formed, then something warmer. Mara adored Lily, who climbed into her lap without hesitation. Ethan learned that wealth did not protect against loneliness, and Mara learned that kindness did not require power. One evening, Mara invited Ethan to a corporate gala. He almost refused, intimidated by the idea. But Lily insisted he go, smoothing his tie with serious concentration. At the event, whispers followed them. Executives stared when Mara introduced Ethan as her partner. Some recognized him. Isn't that the waiter? Yes. The one from the video. Because someone had filmed the fall after all. But they had also filmed what came after. Ethan helping her up. Standing between her and the laughter. The video had gone viral. This time, no one laughed. Later that night, as they stood on a balcony overlooking the city, Mara took Ethan's hand. That day changed more than you know, she said. Ethan looked out at the lights. Funny thing is, he replied, I didn't do it to change anything. She smiled. Exactly. And in a world quick to judge and slow to care.